Well, hello, and welcome back to that thing we like to call Curlessmania, where we talk all things pop, rock, and prog. Really excited to have this gentleman back with me, and we are continuing our David Bowie journey. We are on a journey, folks, and we are not going to stop until when we decide.
We- We're
But
on a we're on a fantastic voyage.
that's a good,
So,
yeah, there you go. There you go. Nice. I like that. So Logan Collins, welcome back, man. Welcome back to the channel.
hi Tom, glad to be back, man.
You doing well today?
Yeah, yep, doing great. Just ready to talk some music and talk some live albums.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. So we were this is how we came upon this. We were, Logan and I were talking, we're like, okay, we're going through the Bowie catalog, and all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, we're kind of skipping live albums, and we're like, wait a minute, should we just hit pause on a second for the studio albums and kind of like let's talk about and I was thinking about let's just grab the three live albums, Ziggy Stardust, David Live, and Stages, and we'll just talk about them. Like we'll just have a discussion about them. Because I thought that was I didn't want to skip over them because I own them all, you own them. I mean, it's like they're sort of like they're they're really good. They're good live albums. You don't want to skip them. You don't want to skip over them. Um, so
Yeah,
yes, we just thought it would be a good idea to just have an episode dedicated to the live, at least three live records.
yeah, 100%.
Yep.
And they're all very I know some of these things we'll talk about as we go on, but I'm pretty sure a lot of this stuff was 100% live. Like there's not a lot of overdubbing or very much, raw and how it was when they recorded it. So,
Very much so. Yeah, especially one of them, which we'll talk about. To me, it feels like, ooh, this is definitely like this thing's pretty rough around the edges, man. Um, but in a good way. In some cases, you're like, okay, I kind of like that it's raw.
yep,
And what's interesting too is that okay, so we're talking about three live records. David Live was actually the first one to come out. This was the
yep.
first official live release. Um, yeah, there you go. Um, I had the vinyl, and my vinyl got was all like it's all screwed up. It was
Oh, mine's worse for wear too, Tom. Wherever I bought it, you can see the ring wear, and
yeah. I
still
I think
plays pretty good.
I think my records were warped and everything. It was bad. Yeah. Um, so and you can't find it. Like I was looking for it again. I was trying to like replace it, and I'm like I couldn't find it. And like I was looking just when I was at stores and stuff. Just every time I was at a store, I'd look in the Bowie section, like, oh, can I find David Live? It's never there. So it's kind of hard to find. Um, but I do have this. I have the CD. This actually a friend of mine like made this for me. He had the CD and he like burned this for me. So he kind of did like
Awesome.
it's almost like a bootleg copy of it. It's like, but it works out well. So. Um,
I bet I bet Bowie would appreciate that picture more than the one that's on the record because I remember he said something about the picture on the record, like I don't know, it's like the ghost of me or something.
Yeah, he said I look like I stepped out of the grave or something like that. Like he looks, because he does. He looks like a skeleton on that cover. He looks like a and
Oh yeah,
he was a I mean, he was like skin and bones at that time in his life. Because
yep.
all he was doing was cocaine and milk, right? I mean, it was like that was it. So so anyway, so with the interesting part about this is that David Live was the first official release. Stage was like the second official release, right? And then the Ziggy Stardust was the earliest show was released in 83. So with the film. So it was actually
Yep.
much later. Um and I always like to point this out, Logan. I gotta point this out because I was looking at this earlier. Princeton Record Exchange in New Jersey for 199. Look at that. That's
Can't
when
beat that.
vinyl was like nobody was touching vinyl. It was just sitting like collecting dust. And I remember like
That's
seeing it being like, "Oh, it's $2 for a double album. I'm buying it. Like I'm gonna buy that."
that might be if Gary Joyce is watching. He's from New Jersey, so maybe that was his old copy. Who knows?
Who's that? Who?
Gary Joyce.
Oh yeah.
Gary Joyce.
Yeah, Gary
Yeah.
Joyce. Exactly, right. Exactly. So um Yeah, whenever I make a New Jersey reference, he always says, "Yeah, I know that place. I know what you're talking about." Um, but anyway, so yeah, so it's kind of interesting that it's kind of like the way it was released was sort of out of order. But in this case, we probably should just go in like when the we'll just go in order of like the shows when the shows were. So I guess we'll just start with Ziggy
Yeah,
Stardust. So Ziggy Stardust, um, recorded in 73. Yeah, look, see, he's got the reissue, which is awesome. What is it, the 50th anniversary? Yeah. Yep.
yeah. This is the 50th anniversary edition. It's got one. It's got the show. It's got the actual movie, and it's got two CDs of the live performance.
Nice.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Comes with a nice booklet. I'll show off some of the booklet while you read about it. But
Nice. Nice. No, that's I mean that's yeah, it's interesting because I we were talking about this before we started filming that um Logan was telling me that this was done by D.A. Pennebaker. I think is that he say his name, D.A. Pennebaker. He was the one who
I believe
filmed
so. Yeah.
he filmed the show, and this is his kids actually pursued this reissue with the movie and the soundtrack together. And I believe, like Logan was saying, he was just watching it and he said it looks pretty cleaned up because the original movie was a little bit raw. It seemed like, and I think they may have cleaned it up, like Sonic,
Yeah.
because it's so easy to do now with you can clean up audio and video now, right? So, um, I mean,
100%. Yeah.
look at the Beatles
Yeah.
getting
I mean,
back, you know?
yeah. Yeah. This. I mean, I got to about halfway through it today, and it just. I mean, you could if somebody told you they recorded this show like a week ago. I mean, it looks like that. It's just so clear, and
Wow.
I mean, you could practically see the sweat coming off of Mick Ronson's SG.
Nice.
Well, Gibson, I mean,
Nice. It
he's
might be
playing a
worth
gold
buying.
top,
It
I
might be
think.
worth buying for that, just for the movie, you know? So,
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go through the audio too. I haven't popped the CDs in yet, so I'm sure they're equal quality. Probably all
yeah,
great. So
yeah. Yep.
yeah,
So what's your
very much a labor of love project.
absolutely. No, it's cool. I will definitely I might need to pick that up. Um but but from the audio sheer just from the record itself, what are your initial impressions of this album? Of this live.
Well, I really like, I especially really like all the Ziggy stuff from the Ziggy Stardust album they play. Obviously, that's kind of like the main draw, I'm sure, for a lot of people who are going to see him around this time. And I mean, if you watch the movie, DA really shows the crowd, and every time they're playing any of the Ziggy songs, they're just like totally enamored with his performance. I mean,
Yeah.
just crazy how big he got. And we should mention too, this gig. This was the final gig of the world tour for, I guess Aladdin Sane, because Aladdin
Yes.
Sane came out in April, and this is
Right.
this is July 3rd, 1973. So I think it's the last gig of the tour, and they're at the Hammersmith Odeon. So he's back in England. They make a big deal about that at the start of the movie too. He's been
Right.
around the world. He's been to America and Japan, and so yeah, I just think it's kind of like a homecoming kind of thing. He's playing for a home crowd audience, and they're really loving everything he's doing. And one thing I know we'll talk about with all these live albums, um, there's songs from most of the records that he put out up to Aladdin Sane, but there's also some oddball covers and stuff that he does in between. Because he does White Light, White Heat on here, which is a Velvet Underground song, and he really rocks that up, man. I
That is
love. That's
awesome.
probably my. That's probably my favorite. That's probably my favorite version of that song, man. He kills it.
Oh,
Um.
they kill that. They quash that. It's awesome. Like you said, they
Yep.
really rock it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he does. I think the only other different one on this one is My Death, which is
Right.
by this guy. Yeah, I can't. I know he's French, and I'm not French, Tom, so I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but
Isn't it
I know it's like
Jacques Brel? Or is that right?
Jacques Brel, yeah,
Yeah.
yep, something like that.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. but it's kind of like emotional, and I don't know, kind of like one of the mellower songs on the record. And I
Yeah.
like how at the end, because I know he just stops singing the words and he kind of lets the crowd do it. It's pretty cool. They kind of get into that. But yeah. Oh, and I want to mention too, my version of the 50th anniversary actually has the encores they did that night, which Jeff Beck actually comes on stage to kind of close the show out, and they do Gene Genie, which goes into the Beatles' "Love Me Do," which goes back into the Gene Genie. And you can totally tell when Jeff Beck takes, because he's taking leads. Sometimes you can totally tell it's not Mick Ronson anymore, because there's
Yeah.
just, I mean, I love Mick Ronson, but Jeff Beck's Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
they do Chuck Berry's Round and Round too at the end. So
Yep.
kind of two extra little tracks there, but yeah,
Yeah.
overall, man, yeah, it's just a killer live record. Very, like we were talking about, very raw, very rock and roll, just kind of everything in the kitchen sink, you know, in the recording. I don't think there was anything they overdid or, put a, had to remake a guitar solo here, or especially like people who like jam stuff, like the width of a circle on here is like that version is like really long.
Oh
Like
my God.
on
Yeah.
it's even longer on here than on the record, I think. It's like 15 minutes on here.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah. Width
yeah.
of a circle
There's
goes
long
on it goes on for a minute. They really jam that out.
yep.
And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think that it's very raw. It's very raw is the word I keep using, but it just is. It almost feels like a high-end bootleg almost. I mean, it literally
Yeah.
the audio quality of it is not the greatest, but
Well, it's
there's some
funny
yeah, go ahead.
it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that too, because before that the movie came out, or in '83, I know this was a widely circulated bootleg show for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Because originally they were going to release this originally after they recorded it, but I think Bowie kind of was trying to put the back burner on that, because he was trying to do something else. So he's kind of like, let's just keep this in the vault for a while. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
kind of
think
interesting you bring it up.
yeah, he had moved on from Ziggy at that point, and as we talked about, he moved quickly onto Diamond Dogs and wanted to create his own thing, right? So he's kind of like, that
Yep.
Ziggy thing's over, so I don't want to promote that. I totally agree with that, and I think they said something about he also thought that the audio wasn't that great either, so he wasn't like that excited to put it out. So I think there
Right.
were two things going on. So they shelved it and they just put it on the shelf. And like you said, things like this always tend to somehow leak out to the public somehow, like somehow somebody got a hold of it, and and they end up bootlegging it, and it's so it doesn't shock me that that people were wanting to hear it and finding it on bootleg. um
Oh yeah.
yeah, so and like we said earlier, this didn't come out until 1983 officially, so it came out with the film, so it came out 10 years after the concert. So it's kind of weird. um but anyway, but I do like the sort of raw energy of it. I mean, you definitely hear the spiders in full flight, like you said, things like Width of a Circle, and White Light White Heat. Oh my God. And Ziggy, like you said, the Ziggy material, Hang On to Yourself, is like full on, like high
Is it
octane.
that like the the great album opener they could have done? That's how they start the show. I mean, that's just a great song to start with. you
Yeah. Oh,
know.
Hang On to Yourself. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's just raw. It's rocking and it's raw. So I appreciate that. But it definitely, by the end, you're like, man, I wish this album could. There's always part of me that was like, I wish they recorded this a little bit better, because they just could. That's the only thing that always feels a little bit like, just that audio record. I don't know who recorded this, but they didn't do that great of a job of it. But
Right.
it could have been better. It could have been like amazing. And honestly, what's interesting is, I know we're not talking about every live record, and I told you, we had to be, but Santa Monica 72, this came out, and this was another bootleg, right? And this is from the
Yeah.
72. This is from a year earlier, when actually, but I think before Lad Insane. And it's
Yeah.
that's interesting. That's an interesting release, because it's a little I like the set list almost better on that, some because there's stuff from, like there's a lot of stuff from Hunky Dory on it too. So
Wow,
anyway,
yeah. Nice.
anyway, I'm getting off track. So yeah, so I think it's a good record. I think it's good. I just, like I said, I enjoy the rawness of it, and I think there's some really, really like moments, like awesome moments on it. And Mick Ronson is just like ripping the whole, like you said, he's ripping the whole
Ooh,
time. You know,
yep. Such an underlooked player, man.
it's just nice to hear him let loose. Um,
Oh, 100%.
so yeah, so then we move on to David Live from 1974, right?
Yep.
Um,
74, October of 74, I believe.
yeah, yeah. So this is the like you said, look at that. Like hold up your cover again. I mean, look at that. He is so skinny. He's like, oh my God. Um, but man, this is the place he was in at this time. He was like right after Diamond Dogs, um but yeah,
Yep.
I mean, this was his first official live release, as we said earlier. And I think people originally were kind of disappointed with it. I think the reviews were sort of lukewarm. Um,
Yeah. Yep.
you know, so and I can't remember why that is. I think they said that they were kind of unimpressed, like his voice cracks a lot and
I think it was mainly his vocal performance, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah,
From the stuff I've read the last week or so about this, it seems like that's what it was more than anything.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So what's your personal take on this? I'll just start with this is just my first impression of this record and always has been. And it kind of, even when I was listening this week, I kind of felt the same way as like, I really love the Diamond Dog stuff on this,
oh, yeah.
you
Well,
know?
me and you both love Diamond Dogs, so
Yeah,
100% with that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, everything, I mean, after listening to the energy that's on this,
Right,
and then you
right.
listen to then you listen to Light Moon Age Daydream on here, it's like night and day,
It is, it
Uh,
is.
lot,
Yes.
yeah, but I kind of agree with what you're saying. I mean, all the Diamond Dog stuff is great, I
Yeah,
think. I mean, he
yeah.
really delivered, especially Sweet Thing. I mean, we
Oh,
already love that song already, but it's
yeah,
great live too. And I
yeah,
like the little changes in arrangement they do on certain tunes on this album. Even some of the older tracks, they kind of, I know it's weird, like Cracked Actor, they like put this horn line in it at the start. It's like completely
yes.
different from Mick Ronson's, loud distorted guitar. But I mean, Earl Slick plays guitar in this record though, which he gets some good moments, I think, throughout
Oh,
this
oh
record.
yeah. No, you could tell it's
Really,
like you're like, oh, Earl Slick is he's I mean, a great guitar player. So you're like, yeah,
yeah.
he's more than capable, right?
Yeah, and this one, I think this is the only one we're going to talk about today that does have some overdubbing. I think I read Visconti was talking about it. They had Mike Garson's piano solo on Aladdin Sane. They had to redo that in the studio. I remember
Oh,
that
okay.
for some
Okay.
reason because I don't think he had it mic'd properly when they were playing it live or something. So, I mean, just a little. There's a little something right there, but besides that, I'm pretty sure all this is very live and
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know. I think it's like a transition. This is like a transition record for him.
it
Kind of like
is. It is.
I
Yeah.
mean, because even this picture is from the second leg of the tour when he
Right.
was starting to do the soul stuff, and
Right.
the music is from July. So he's still kind of doing the Diamond Dogs thing. He still had the big stage set up with Hunger City in the background and
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, I well, you were talking about some of the albums that were released um, way later, live albums.
Right.
There's one from October of '74. It's called the Soul Tour. I think it's in Detroit, and they're doing like all these, they're doing some Young American stuff and John I'm Only Dancing. They're like funkier version of it, and he just
Nice.
sounds like he's liking that a lot, a lot more than a lot of the performance on here to me personally.
That's
But
interesting.
but
That's
here
interesting.
is also where here here is also where he kind of does that. He gets the R&B kind of thing coming into his music. I mean,
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
cover Eddie Floyd's "Knock on Wood" was the single, so it
Yeah.
kind of got that R&B edge kind of starting to come into his music here. But yeah, I kind of agree with you, Tom. All the Diamond Dog stuff is pretty great. Um, Hearing him do all the young dudes was pretty cool when I was younger because I always heard he recorded that song. Or well, he wrote it and he gave it to Mata Hoople, but
Right.
I never really heard. I know he does a version on Ziggy, but I didn't hear Ziggy until this was actually my first live album from him. So all
Okay.
this stuff kind of has like a sentimental thing to me a little bit, but I get what you're saying though. A lot of the Ziggy stuff is kind of like so. But yeah, all the Diamond Dog stuff is great, man.
No, I
So
that's
yeah,
the way I feel about it. Like I love this album. It's like you said, you nailed it. I was gonna point that out too. That even the photos are from the second leg of the tour where he's doing different material.
yeah,
So
right, yeah,
so you're right. It's like the whole package is a little bit skewed, and and because he's wearing the sort of funk guy suit, like funky suit thing, which he
yeah,
wasn't, like you said, which he wasn't doing on the first leg. Because apparently he got tired of from what I read, he got sick of the pretty quickly of the Hunger City thing because it was so scripted and so like every show was exactly the same or something like that. And he was like, at that point in his life, he just seemed like he got really restless really fast. Um, so, and he was moving on, like you
yeah.
said.
He should have known. He should Yeah, he should have known it wasn't going to work, that long doing that same thing over and over. I mean, we
Yeah,
know how how his career turned out, so
yeah,
it's kind of a not a no-brainer that it didn't work for that long.
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. And you're right. I mean, Knock on Wood is actually pretty strong. I mean, it's a cover, but it's a pretty cool version of it. I
Yeah, I
love
like it.
I love Diamond Dogs on this too. Like the Diamond Dogs version, it's kind of playful. Like you said something about being a little more playful, a little more. It's kind of weird. Like on the record, it's a little darker. On this one, it kind of
Yeah,
seems like they're like a little more like upbeat, like kind of funking it up a little bit when there's like a saxophone going in the background, and but it's a cool
yeah.
version of it. Like I really think that like I keep repeating myself, but they really kill the Diamond Dog stuff. But like the stuff that's like the Ziggy stuff, like Moon Age Daydream and Changes is okay, and Aladdin Sane's okay. It just like you said, I kind of miss Mick Bronson on those. Like I want to hear Mick playing on
Oh
those.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's weird listening to these hard rock songs being kind of taken through the soul funk blender. It's like
Yeah,
it's kind
yeah.
of weird. The,
And I
the one the one that I think actually works is the I think the Gene Genie's kind of cool the way they do that. It's kind of got
yes.
this like bass line in it, and it's kind
Yeah.
of completely different at the start, and Bowie's singing the lyrics, and the crowd knows it, but they're like, well, "Where's the riff at?"
Where's the
you know?
riff? Exactly. Exactly. It's where's the riff, man? So yeah, no, but I do think that this album's worth it for the Diamond Dog stuff alone because you can tell that he's fully into that material, and that band is kind of tailored for that material. So it works out. Those songs are, I mean, 1984 is a killer version. Rebel Rebel's a good version. I mean, all the stuff, all the Diamond Dog stuff is good. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
that's my take on this record. Um,
Cool.
yeah, so then we move on to Stage from 1970, September 78. And
There you go.
yeah, yeah. I actually do have the vinyl on this one. There you go.
So, Tom, your CD, is it the two CD one?
Yes. Yep.
So, do you prefer how it is on here because the track listing is different? It's the vinyl's weird on this one because they arranged the songs in the order of like chronologically, like every year.
Oh, that's right.
So
That
it's I think
yes.
yeah, and the CD is actually how they played it. So I kind of prefer that really. But but then again, I've never owned the vinyl either, so I can't really say just kind of weird how they did the vinyl there. But they thought it
Yeah.
was a cool idea. So
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's a little odd. It's yeah, you're right. It's all in order. It's funny. I don't think I ever noticed that until you just pointed that out. That's kind of weird. I never paid attention to that. Wow. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
my the the CD version I have has a insert thing, and Tony Visconti kind of goes through that whole process that they were. I don't know. I guess that was like a conscious decision from him and David to just do that. Why don't we put it in chronological order? And they're like, okay, why not? And when they
Yeah.
put it out on CD, I guess forums and like internet sites and stuff were kind of like saying, well, I wish it was in the order, the running order of the actual show. So that's why
Yeah.
they ended up doing that.
Yeah, just put it in the order that the show was played in. Yeah, which I mean, that's
Well,
most fans want that, you know.
and it's kind of weird how it is on the vibe. I know because Low was like a side of rock songs and a side of ambient, instrumental, experimental stuff. But it's kind of weird when a live album has like Warzawa and Sense of Doubt and
Art
all them
Decade.
songs.
Yeah, yeah,
Art Decade, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, has all of
No,
them in a row like that.
and what's funny too is you mentioned that, and two things hit me when I listen to this album, and I go, first of all, I go, wow, that's so David Bowie, right? So he's so confident, and he's so the fact that he'll come out and play those songs live, he'll play those instrumental ambient songs live. You're like, "Oh my god, this I love Bowie because this is the confidence that he has that he'll come out and do that." Where a lot of people would be like, "Oh, we're not gonna play those songs live." He's like, "No way, we're
Right?
doing
Yeah,
this." And he did it. And what's interesting is that they said that they did some of these recordings were almost like they didn't they turned off the crowd mics or something because people were making so much noise during the
yeah.
songs. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
yeah. Tony talks about that in here. He plugged in directly into the instruments for like the instrumental stuff
Yeah.
because I guess he said the American audiences wanted to get to the rock songs. So it's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
'Cause I mean,
But
I believe it. It's like, that long of a gap where it's that mellow, like, people are fired up to, like, rock. They wanna especially in America, they wanna
oh
rock,
yeah,
so it's like,
yeah,
"What is this? So I could hear especially people that are just average people that aren't really big fans and be like, "What is this shit? What is this? I don't wanna listen to what is this? Like, let's rock, come on." Um,
yeah. Because Warzel was like almost 7 minutes. So and
exactly.
he started the show with that. It's like that's
It's so
crazy.
ballsy, I love it, I love how ballsy he was, he totally stood by stuff, he's like, "This is the stuff I put out, this is the album, if you're a fan, you're this is what you're gonna get." I just love that,
Yeah.
and so that's really cool, yeah, so generally, what's your take on this on stage? What do you think about this record overall?
Well, this one I got with I had like a kind of like a set of CDs. I bought like the Berlin trilogy, and it came with this. So
Nice.
I think it was called Zeit or something like that. It's in German. I can't remember what it's exactly called. But yeah, when I bought that uh little box set thing, I really I played this a bunch.
Yeah.
So this probably is the live album I played the most from Bowie, really.
Yes.
At least from the released ones. And I like the way he's kind of got every era kind of represented in a way. I
Right.
know he doesn't have any young Amer well, he's got Fame on here from Young Americans, but basically from Ziggy, no Aladdin Sane, but basically from Ziggy up to Heroes, there's quite a bit you know, of stuff from all of those. And I like the way the CD's layered out too, because the second disc starts with yeah, 5 songs from Ziggy. So it's kind of cool to hear the 78 band playing those tunes. And
Right.
this goes back to David Live. I mean, the arrangement is pretty different compared
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the actual like the Spiders stuff.
Right.
Because like
Right.
you listen to Soul Love on here, and Adrian Belews doing that lead, and it's like, what is he doing?
It's happening right now. I know. I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way it's laid out on the CD too, I think almost all of disc one is either from Heroes or Low, so that's kind of
Right.
cool as well. So
Right. Yes.
and
Yeah.
we talked about the quirky kind of covers he did. He does Alabama song on here, which of course, you probably heard the Doors version. I know that comes from something way earlier, but that's the one I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I'm
So
always
I'm sure
familiar
that's
with the
probably,
Doors version too. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm sure that's probably where you got that from, which it's kind of a different version, it's kind of quirky and kind of odd. It
yeah,
kind of works in I think it works in the context of the live album. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, what I really like about it is how it ends. I mean, you get 3 songs from station to station to close it out, and it's like
yeah.
that's that's
Come
kind of
on.
hard to beat. Oh, well, you know how much me and you love station to station, so it's
Oh
like,
my God.
and
Yeah.
that version of station to station on here is, oh God, I love the way it
Killer.
starts, man.
Killer. Yes. Yes.
And I want to mention about that too. In these liner notes, Tony Visconti says that's the only cut they did is station to station because the first half of the track is from Boston, I think, and then
Oh,
the middle is from Providence, and then the last part is back to Boston. So
oh, you're
Tony said
kidding me.
that's the
That's
only cut
so
they ever
cool.
did. And
Wow.
yeah, and he actually credits Dennis Davis. He's like, I couldn't have done this if he wasn't the master timekeeper that he is. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Because you wouldn't even know. I mean, I didn't know until I read it. Like
I had no idea until
you
you
were
just told
surprised,
me that. I had no clue.
right?
So
Yeah,
that's also
but
goes
yeah,
to the skills of editing that you know
yeah,
uh so yeah of
yeah.
Tony
Just
Scott.
great live album, man. Great live album.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I probably listen to this one the most, I would say. Um I think you mentioned Dennis Davis. Dennis Davis and Carlos Alomar on rhythm guitar and George Marie on bass. I
Yep.
mean, those three guys lay just such a solid, awesome foundation. And it's like, oh, come on. I mean, and all, Baloo is just like scribbling on top of it, right? And and there's some keyboard,
Right. Yeah.
there's some keyboards in there too. But man, I mean,
Mhm.
but what a band. I mean, what a band. I mean, it's
Oh,
unreal.
uh, do you, is that the first time that they kind of had the Baloo and Fripp crossover a little bit in a way, Tom, that because you know how Fripp played on Heroes. So I don't know if
Yes.
that's, you know, it's just kind of funny because then we know what happens with King Crimson in the '80s. So I'm just wondering if that kind of grew from this a little bit, and
Yeah, you
I
kind
know
of
Baloo
wonder.
worked with Talking Heads too. That was probably part of it somewhere too.
Yeah, I know, and I know that like Bowie kind of stole Baloo from Zappa, right? Like
Right?
Bowie, he was playing with Zappa, and then Bowie, I don't know when he played with Talking Heads, I don't know if it was after Zappa or before, but he played then all of us, then suddenly it was like he was in King Crimson. So it was like, I don't know how,
Right.
it's a good question, Logan. I don't know how he and Fripp ended up hooking up, um,
Yeah.
but I'm sure that Fripp was noticing him because he was so interesting and he was so different.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
he nails like Heroes, like the guitar part. I mean, he nails it on here. It
yeah,
sounds just like it.
yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly. And that's not
yeah.
easy to do. So, I agree with you. So,
No.
but I mean, yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, no, I was just saying, I don't even know how you make that kind of sound on a guitar. It's like it's above my head, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like
The
an
things the
EBO. I don't know. It sounds like something like maybe he's doing an EBO and he's like holding the note and he's moving around I don't know what
Yeah,
he's
lot of sustain, probably an Ebo, like you're saying. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
Fripp was crazy, man. He's another level.
oh, Fripp was insane. Fripp was always way outside the box. Um, Actually, there's a really cool. I'm totally going on a tangent here, but there's a really cool like interview with him on YouTube if you could find it. He's talking about the phone call that he got to come record with Bowie, and he said something like, "I got this call, and it said it was from David Bowie, and David Bowie said, 'How would you like to come to Germany with a he said something like a first class ticket, to,' and he's like, I well, absolutely, I'd like to do that, or something like. It's so funny. You got to see it. It's hilarious. And he's talking
I'll have to
about
try
going.
and find it.
And then he said,
Yeah.
then they start playing the track and they just said, play whatever you want. And I said, okay. And he said, we're finding some stuff. And it's just so funny. And he did like multiple takes on Heroes. And then they used all of the takes and they just mixed them all together. It's just, yeah. So
Yeah.
um,
Crazy, man.
anyway, so, but I think this album, back to the live album, I think that this record, again, I kind of have the same feeling again about this one where they're killing the trilogy stuff. They're killing the Heroes, the Low, the Station to Station, all that stuff. They're just killing that stuff. And then I feel kind of like okay with the he does a whole dose, like you said, he does a whole dose of Ziggy stuff. And you kind of wonder if like that was like the reward for waiting around, like hanging with him through the Low and Hero stuff. And then it's like, okay, here's some old stuff for you. We'll throw some Ziggy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That would make sense, man. Yeah.
No,
I
I
never
think
thought about it like that, but yeah, that would make sense.
here's thanks for waiting around. Now this is the stuff you wanted to hear, so here you go. But I don't know that they play the Ziggy again. I'm kind of just a purist about the whole Ziggy Stardust part period where it's like that's the spiders, and I just always want to hear the spiders on that material. And like you said, solo is kind of weird. They do some weird arrangements of it, and I'm like, eh. And that stuff is just so that Ziggy stuff is so perfect for me on the album and done by the spiders. It just when it's done in a different way, it kind of throws me off. And then, but that being
Right.
said,
Yeah.
like you said, the station to station version, awesome. TVC 15, killer. I love all the
Yep.
like you said, Warzawa, Speed of Life. I love all the Low Hero stuff. Um, Blackout is an awesome version on here. I love Blackout on here. Uh,
Blackout's great. Yeah.
oh my
Yeah. I
God.
forgot to mention that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a killer version on here. So there's a lot of great stuff. And like you said, I probably, of all these albums, I probably listen to this one the most. So I'm with you.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Yep.
So
Cool.
there you go. All right. What else? Do you have
And
anything?
there's a lot. Well, there's a lot of stuff that came out after the fact, like you were showing Santa Monica 72.
Yeah.
There's a great one from 76. It's from Nassau Coliseum. That's a really great set because he's doing like almost all of Station to Station. He
Yeah.
does Diamond Dogs, throws Rebel Rebel in there, Gene Genie. Um, he goes back to the Lou Reed well. He does I'm Waiting for the Man. So that's kind of cool to hear
Nice.
that too. So
Nice.
yeah, that's a great one. I need to grab that one.
I was
Truth
gonna
be
say, do
told.
you own that? I was gonna ask you. That was my next.
No, I should get it. I was thinking about it. I was playing it at work today because I texted you about it. I was like, yeah, I probably need to buy this sometime.
Yeah, I had it. I had it. I was at a store. I had it in my hands. I almost bought it, and I was like, oh, and like the last minute, I was like, oh, I'll just. It was kind of pricey, so I was like, oh, I'll put it back. Maybe I'll get it some other time. But I almost bought. I mean, it was like this close. I almost bought it because it's like it looks so
Yeah,
cool. It just, I mean, like I'm sure both of us would enjoy that set. You know.
yeah. I'm just enamored with that whole Station to Station like album and everything, and especially probably all the live stuff from that
Yeah.
year. I'm sure it's all pretty great. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
yeah,
sure I'm sure it is. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too, and I was like, oh, I really just I haven't got to listen to it. I could listen to it on my phone, and that's what I'll do. I'll just take a listen to it
yeah,
on the phone. But but yeah, I probably need to own it at some point because I'm just, you like you, I love that period too. So it's like, how can I resist, live document from that period? It's hard to resist.
hundred
Yeah.
percent. Yeah.
And it looks like a cool package. Like the package itself looks
Oh man,
artwork.
yeah. The way he looks on the cover, man. I love that whole Thin White Duke, like the way he looked and everything.
Yes, yes, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a ton of live albums now for like you said, posthumous kind of live stuff that's been coming out since he
Oh yeah,
you know. Um
yeah,
so it's for a Bowie fan, it's man, it's a lot. It's awesome. It's great. It's great.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Me and you just scratched the surface on what the releases that were officially out. There's just all kinds of stuff
Oh,
now.
there's so
Just
much more. Yeah, there's tons. Um, so much more. So I was just kind of going through the stuff that we had covered. That's like the live, trying to include the live albums from the material we had already covered from the studio standpoint. So
right. Yeah.
yeah. So what so remind me, what's next? What do we do next with the studio? It's
I think it's Low and Heroes, I believe.
Oh, and Heroes. Yeah. Okay, we're into the Berlin period now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be
So,
fun, man. Yeah,
oh, that'll be great. That'll be really fun.
yep,
That's yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I didn't really talk about the songs too much on this one because we haven't really talked about the songs yet. I don't really want to go,
Yeah,
too far into
that's true. That's a
it.
good point, Logan. That's great. That's very true. Yeah, we can talk about the songs and on the album. Yeah.
Right, 100%.
Yeah. And I'm already giving away the game that I love the rhythm section, but I think I've already said that on station to station. Um, so that's okay. But
Yeah, yeah. That's probably the best rhythm section he had, man. I mean, them guys were on fire.
I think so too. I agree with you. There was something about, and I remember, I think Eno said, because Eno was helping him obviously with those records, he said something like, "This is a fantastic rhythm section." Like he was all excited about him too, because they could be funky with them. They could be like they could do funk, you know.
Yep.
So I think that excited these kind of stiff white English dudes, you know.
Yep,
Like
who were messing around with their keyboards, you know.
we can play, David, we can play funk.
Well, I mean, we'll get. I don't want to go too far into it, but I mean, like Speed of Life, that's a good example right there.
Yeah,
That's kind of mixing the experimental keyboards with the funky kind of bass and drums.
totally,
So,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
More on that in a little bit, but
More of that coming on the next episode, so stay tuned. So yeah. I think that I think we covered it. If there's anything more you wanted to say, any parting comments on these records?
I think for anyone who's probably into Bowie, I think they're all worth a listen. I
Yeah.
would say. Um, if I'm gonna, I mean, it's hard to go against David Live because I've had it forever. But I mean, overall, to me, I think Stage is probably the best. But I guess it probably depends on what period you like. I guess really,
Yeah.
because like if you're more of a hard rock, if you're more a hard rock guy, this is the one. You
Yeah.
know, if you're more of a Diamond Dogs proggy kind of guy, probably this one. And if you're more of a experimental krautrock, hard Ziggy's in
Yeah.
here too, though. So
Right. Right.
it's kind of hard to, yeah. I guess it's just like how Bowie's studio albums are. I mean, they're just all over the map. It's just hard to decipher. See, to me, I just find it interesting how when they do songs from all three, like they'll do Ziggy on this one and then the other two, it'll
Hmm.
be completely different,
Yeah.
or at least a little different. It's just
Yeah.
cool to see how his band's evolved in arrangements and all that stuff throughout the years. So I
Yeah.
guess I don't have a set way of listening to these is the the closing words, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think I don't either. I'm with you on that. And it's funny because I was talking about how like, oh, sometimes the arrangements kind of bother me or whatever, but you know what? It's kind of cool that he does different arrangements. Like you said, it's not the same exact song every time. So you that's why you would go
Yeah.
to different live albums with different kind of a different taste of different versions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
and like you said, it's like I go to all three of them. I go to the Ziggy one for the Ziggy stuff. I go to I go to David Live for the Diamond Dog stuff, and I go to Stage for the like you said, the more experimental stuff. So there you go. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's a like you said, if you're a fan, you need to own them, right? I mean, you need to have them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, at least the officials. And if you start getting more in the weeds, then you're gonna start getting Santa Monica, and then you're gonna start getting Nassau Coliseum, and
Like we are, we're going to be heading that way pretty soon here.
yep, yep,
I've
yep.
already got Santa Monica, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I would recommend this. Like,
I I see that, Tom. I probably need to look about that one too.
that's a great one. But and yeah, I'll probably be buying the Nassau one as well. So I can't resist that. So yeah. So I'm with you, Logan. So Logan, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming back, man.
Thanks for coming on, or thanks for having me on, not for coming on. I'm coming on your show.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I appreciate it, man. I always have fun on here. So
Yeah, no, it's always a good time. So yeah, so that's it, people. What do you guys think? We want to know. Let us know in the comments. What do you guys think of these records? Let us we can take it if you disagree with us. Well, we can it's fine. I can but let us know. I mean, maybe somebody will say, "Man, I think the stuff on I don't think that the Ziggy album sounds bad at all. I think it's perfect. Um so no, but I'd love to hear your opinions on these because that's what's fun about it. We love the dialogue. So um
Yeah.
and make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Please subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Helps the channel to kind of want to do more. And also, is there anything else I was gonna say? Just keep listening to David Bowie, man. We're gonna go listen to these records. If you haven't listened to these albums in a while, go pull them out and take a listen because they're worth it. And buy the reissue of the Ziggy. That's what I'm gonna do. There you go. So that's it, guys, and stay tuned for Logan and I. We're gonna hit the next one is Low and Heroes. We're gonna head into Berlin is the next installment. So that's gonna be really cool. So stay tuned for that. So, all right,
Yeah. Looking
that's
forward to
it.
that, man.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. All right, well, we'll see you next time on Curlessmania. Take care, guys. See ya.
See you guys.